Good afternoon.
That's why you get 2,000.
We're going to go ahead and get started. So can you hear me in the back? Just give me a thank you very much. So again, good afternoon. Welcome to the 88th annual meeting of the members of SouthPoint Financial Credit Union. My name is Troy Diedrich. I'm the Chief Experience Officer at SouthPoint, and it's my pleasure to serve today as your meeting moderator. For all of you joining us in person today, thank you for taking the time to be here. Your presence is what makes this event so special for all of us. We also want to extend a warm welcome to our members who are joining us virtually. We appreciate their participation and hope the online format allows for a smooth and informative experience. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to our SouthPoint staff present and those who are back in our office serving members. I'd also like to extend a welcome to the members of our board of directors, our supervisory committee, and also those from our community advisory that are here with us as well. Your dedication and leadership ensure the continued success of SouthPoint. We're fortunate to have several guest speakers joining us today. Christian Oxendorf, president of SouthPoint Insurance Agency, Joey Warda, financial advisor with SouthPoint Investment Services, and Dave Brown with the Minnesota Credit Union Network. Each will be sharing a short presentation of the services they provide to SouthPoint members. We appreciate their time and we look forward to hearing from them momentarily. After the presentations of our guest speakers today, we'll transition to our business meeting, which will be led by Matt Lux, chairman of the board of directors, and Jay Kostanzik, chief executive officer. We have a lot to cover today, so without further ado, we're going to dive in. Our first speaker today is Christian Oxendorf, president of SouthPoint Insurance Agency. He's been an insurance agent for 13 years, 6 of those years running MG Insurance, which is now SouthPoint Insurance Agency. Please welcome Christian.
So the agency was founded in 1989, has been serving West Central Minnesota since then. I acquired the agency as the owner in 2018, and then SouthPoint acquired it here in 2023. I've had 15 years of experience in the insurance industry. Prior to that, I was a special education teacher working with emotional behavior disorders and specific learning disabilities, which has helped me quite a bit in the insurance industry. I do come from a rural background. I grew up on a family farm raising livestock and producing crops, as well as we still have the family farm out north of Montevideo to this day. Some of the insurances that we offer are your typical, such as auto insurance, home insurance, commercial and business insurance, farm and crop insurance. So we handle not only the crop insurance, but the farm liabilities that go along with the operation itself. We do offer renters insurance. So people who are renting homes or apartments can get coverage for their personal belongings, as well as still have liability coverage. We do offer a wide range of life insurance policies, condo insurance, not only as the condo itself, but for HOAs or any type of associations that you might have. Motorcycle insurance, RVs, and boat, which are definitely going to be starting to be more popular here in the next few weeks. And we also offer umbrella insurance. So we are an independent agency, which means that we work with about 15 to 20 different companies. So we can go out and search for the best price and the best packages for our customers. We do tailor the coverages to meet your needs. So, you can have a combination of all sorts of things. We insure basically everything that you find a value in. We have 3 agents in the office. We all help any of the clients. We also go to our customers. We don't make them come to our office. We'll meet on the farm, we'll meet in the coffee shop, we'll meet at your house, whatever works best for our customers. I'm sure everyone has heard about bundling options, but we can definitely put your home and auto and your toys together so that you get a better price on your insurance. We use a competitive rater, so we do put your information in and we send it out to the 20 different companies. So then they send it back to us with the best offers. Personalized support. We assist with the claims. When you have a claim, you call us, and then we work with the company and work together with the company to help you get back to whole. We try to do policy reviews every year. And in these days, the insurance industry is changing constantly. We're getting notices, seems like every other week, that things are changing. So we are there to help look at your policy, make sure we have the right things in place for you. We have educational resources where we help with 55 Alive classes, which gets you a 10% discount with most auto carriers. So once you turn 55, you can take the courses to get the discounts. It's just a safe driving course as a refresher, as well as other insurance needs. We can help point you in the right direction. Like I said, we can meet you at the local SouthPoint branch or at your home, whatever works best for you. Here's how you can reach us on our website, our phone number, and email. We have Donald Jurek, who's the young gentleman in the middle, and Gina Patinka, who is on the end there. Very good staff, can answer your questions, very friendly. So any questions at all, you can give us a call or send us an email. Thank you.
Thank you, Christian. Next, we're going to welcome to the podium Joey Warta. And Joey is the newest financial advisor with SouthPoint Investment Services, joining Bob Skillings, who's been with the Investment Center since 2012. So please welcome Joey.
All right, thank you, and good afternoon. As Troy mentioned, I'm the newest member here. I know for a fair amount of you, when you have heard or thought of SouthPoint Investment Services, Bob Skillings is the one who has come to mind. He unfortunately was not able to be here today, but I am excited to be able to present here to you all. Little quick thing about me. I'm a lifelong New Ulm independent person. I love to be part of this community. I have been with SouthPoint now for a little over 3 years. And as Troy mentioned, I just recently moved over into the investments services. So what does investment services mean? It's all about looking to your future and preparing for it. So whether you're prepared or not, we will definitely help make sure that we get you to be prepared. As a SouthPoint Financial Credit Union member, you do have access to the investment representatives through SouthPoint Investment Services, which would be Bob or myself. We can help craft a plan and work towards your long-term goals. It all starts with a complimentary consultation and a portfolio review where you'll learn about your options. So some financial questions to ask yourself as you go through, or what we'll start looking at with you. Do I have terrific benefits at work? Am I managing my debt to my advantage? Do I still need a regular paycheck if I'm seriously injured? Do I want my kids or family to pay their own way? Do I look forward to living in the nursing home? Am I paying Uncle Sam too much? Do I know how much I am worth? Do I care about what happens to my assets when I am dead? Do I want to retire? And if I died today, would it be messy for my heirs? To answer all of those kind of questions and more, we look at 6 key areas of financial management. First thing is going to be examining your present financial situation. This is everything from looking to what you currently have to what you know will be coming into the future. Do you have a will? Do you understand what your cash flow looks like? And plenty more in that avenue. Then we're going to look at protecting what's important for you. Are your dependents going to be taken care of? Have you planned for the potential of financial risk, whether that be disability, long-term care, or life insurance? Then we're going to look at the accumulating of wealth. What are your goals? Everybody has independent goals, and the only way to look at the investment services for yourself is for us to get to know what your independent goals are. Whether that's saving for education, your own or your dependents, buying a home. Are you comfortable where you currently are, or are we looking to maybe become more comfortable? Do you have retirement goals? And just in general, what are your other goals? Are your current investments working towards your goals? And then how much money will you need to reach those goals? Then we can help look at managing your taxes. We're going to ask you, how do you manage your taxes? There's a lot that comes into it when it comes to how your deductions might come out. We're going to look at all of that to make sure that it benefits and is looking to what you are looking for. Then the last one that we'll really hit with as well is, are your estate taxes a concern for you? We can help manage that for you. Then the last ones here are looking for planning for retirement. Are you planning to make your retirement dreams a reality? How are your liabilities impacting your retirement goals? And then are you comfortable that you'll be able to maintain your standard of living in retirement? Lastly, we'll look at leaving your legacy. How should your assets be distributed when you're gone? Do you want to leave assets to any charity or any funds that you might know of? And then will your current plans allow you to reach these legacy goals? So again, it's Bob Skillings and I who take up this department. Both of us are located in the New Ulm branch. Much like Christian, though, we will travel wherever it will make sense for you and to make it easy for you to reach out to us. Otherwise, our contact information is there and on our website as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Joey. Last of our presenters, we have Dave Brown. Dave works for the Minnesota Credit Union Network. He's the Director of Insurance Services for TrueLink Medicare Advisors. He's also in the process of developing an entire Medicare insurance program for credit union members with many credit unions across the state of Minnesota. So please welcome Dave.
Great. Well, thank you for being here today. As he introduced me, I'm Dave Brown with the Minnesota Credit Union Network, and last year we started TrueLink Medicare Advisors, and we're working with credit unions across the state, including SouthPoint, to help their members who are 65 or older and eligible for Medicare. So our agenda is we're going to talk about the current state of Medicare, our pilot program results, and how the program is going to work for SouthPoint. As you know, October 15th through December 7th, there's relentless commercials featuring these gentlemen here. You'll have William Shatner and these others telling you why you need to call their 1-800 number and get help for Medicare. My advice is don't do that, but you're welcome to do what you want to do. They're going to promise you the world and not deliver the world. So Medicare can be confusing for people. 57% of people across the country say they don't review or compare their coverage options annually, and Medicare plans do change from year to year. Every year, once you're on Medicare in September, you're going to get what's called the annual notice of changes. It's a thick book, and if you choose to read through it, it's going to tell you what changes will happen for your Medicare plan for the next year. It'll include any premium changes and all that information. 46% of people say they rarely revisited their plans once they signed up for one. And then 30% of people say the Medicare program is somewhat difficult or very difficult for them to understand. When you utilize our services, we're going to hopefully make it a lot less confusing for you. About 19% of people who are members of credit unions in Minnesota are at the Medicare eligible age of 65 or older. And the number of Minnesotans turning 65 this decade will be greater than the last 4 decades combined, which is a pretty astonishing number. By 2030, more than 1 in 5 Minnesotans will be an older adult, including all the baby boomers. More than half of the eligible Medicare beneficiaries in Minnesota are on Medicare Advantage plans now. Medicare Advantage plans came out in 2006. When they first were available, they weren't all that great. And there are still people who will tell you, don't go with a Medicare Advantage plan or a Medicare cost plan. Stick with a supplement plan. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But Medicare Advantage plans have become very economically affordable and competitive, and we'll go over that in just a little bit. Also this year, if anyone who's a member of SouthPoint is a retiree of the United States Post Office, you've received information. If you didn't sign up for Medicare Part B when you were first eligible, you're going to have a 6-month period this year where you can do that, and the post office is going to pay your late enrollment penalty. And you're probably aware, if you are in that category, they're trying to move people off the post office retiree plan onto private Medicare because it's a way they're trying to make the post office solvent. So as I said, TrueLink Medicare Advisors was established last year. We are a licensed agency. We offer all 7 insurance carriers that are available in Minnesota. So that's going to be Humana, United Healthcare, Allina Health Aetna, which has the clinic and hospital here in New Ulm, Health Partners, Medica, Blue Cross, and UCare. We did a pilot program last year. We signed up 6 credit unions to do a test run of the Medicare program. We held 19 events. We had over 560 people in attendance at those events. That resulted in 168 appointments, which resulted in 121 new clients for us. And it's not that I'm a terrible salesman and couldn't get the others to switch. I didn't want them to switch. If you're happy with your plan that you have now, I'm not going to try to talk you into changing to something different. We want you to be happy and satisfied with what you have. So if what you have is working right now, and we meet and we discuss that and we go over the different options and you decide what you have is still works best for you, I'm going to advise you to keep what you have. If it's not working for you, I'm going to show you other options that will work for you. We did save the people that we worked with an average of $1,400 a year in their premiums. And that's basically due to a lot of people were still on supplement plans that they had been on for 20 years. And if you're on one of those, you know that that price keeps going up every year. And when they compared it to Medicare Advantage, and if they decided to switch, they saved quite a bit of money over the course of the year. Here are some testimonies from people that we worked with. There was one woman I met with who she hadn't been taking her medication for 2 years because she said Medicare no longer covered it. And I said, it's not that Medicare doesn't cover it, it's the plan that you're on doesn't cover it. So we did some reviews and found a couple of plan options for her that did cover her medication. And she signed up for that plan. So instead of her not taking the medication because it was about $2,000 a month for her to get it, which she couldn't afford, we found a plan where she had a copay of $47 a month. And that made all the difference in the world for her. There's also a lot of changes coming to Medicare for next year when it comes to prescription drugs. If you've been on Medicare, you're aware of the donut hole and the coverage gap. That's going away next year. Instead of you having to pay 25% of the cost, if you're one of those unfortunate individuals that falls into the donut hole or the coverage gap, next year, once you spend $2,000 on your prescriptions, the insurance carriers are going to be required to cover 100% of your prescriptions through the rest of the year. So that's some good news for any of you who might have high prescription drug costs. So our partnership in offering Medicare plans to SouthPoint Financial Credit Union members, there's different options. There are Medicare supplement plans. So if any of you were on Medicare prior to 2018, in Brown and Nicollet County, there were plans called Medicare cost plans, which a lot of people were on, and they were very effective. Well, those plans ended for certain counties in Minnesota the end of 2018, And the agent that you worked with may have moved you up to a Medicare supplement plan, which may have made sense at the time. But if you choose to meet with us during the annual enrollment period, we can compare whatever plan you're on with other plan options for you and see if there's more cost-effective or other plans available. Medicare supplement plans aren't going to give you dental, vision, and hearing coverage. Medicare Advantage plans will. They also include prescription drug coverage. If you have a supplement plan, you need to get a standalone prescription drug plan. So there's a lot of differences here that we will help you take a look at and decide if you need to find something that works better and more affordably for you. So some of the things we assist with, if you're just turning 65 or you're older than 65 and still working but getting ready to retire, we can help advise you on when's the right time to sign up for Medicare Parts A and B. We'll tell you what's involved in going from a group health plan to an individual Medicare plan. We'll cover what Medicare covers. Should working employees enroll in Medicare? There are some employees who their employers don't have fantastic group health plans, and it may be more affordable for you if you're still working and you're 65 or older to go onto an individual Medicare plan. How does Medicare affect HSA contributions and the different enrollment periods that are involved in Medicare? We stay in touch with our clients throughout the year. So in addition to sending, birthday cards and emails or so forth, just to keep you informed, we will also notify you in September to update any medication changes if you are our client. We'll ask you if you want to review your plan options for the next year. We will come and meet with you in person. I've helped a lot of folks in the New Ulm, Sleepy Eye area over the last 16 years that I've done Medicare. And if it works for you to meet at your home or at the branch office of SouthPoint, whatever works for you, we can tailor that to your needs. We do Medicare educational events. We will be doing some with SouthPoint either this summer, or we will be doing some, especially for the fall, and we'll be going over the changes in Medicare plans this year versus next year. And if you decide you want to meet with me individually to take a look at your options, we will do that. So TrueLink Medicare Advisors, what we do for the credit union is we provide marketing and communications toolkits. We help them with everything SouthPoint is going to need to be an effective agency for its members. We are a free resource to SouthPoint, and we are a free resource to you. We will never charge you a fee for our services. If you decide to sign up through us with a insurance carrier or a plan, we get paid a commission by the insurance carrier, and we revenue share that with SouthPoint Credit Union. So you never pay us anything, and the fact is you should never be paying any Medicare agent anything. We're not allowed to charge you a fee, but we're here to hopefully serve you well. So that was a quick overview, but again, I will be here afterwards. If any of you have any questions, but we'd be happy to work with you either this year or this fall or ongoing to serve you if you're in need of a good agency. So thank you for being here.
So I want to thank Dave very much for the presentation. And as part of SouthPoint, we really do look forward to being able to offer the TrueLink Medicare Advisor services to our members of SouthPoint. Next, we're going to begin our business meeting. And so we start our business meeting by bringing forward our board chair, Matt Lux, to the podium to call the meeting to order. Matt?
Welcome, and thank you, Troy. Welcome, members of SouthPoint Financial Credit Union. Today's business meeting will be also live streamed so that members will be able to attend online. Some housekeeping notes here. Following the business meeting, we will draw for prizes, random prizes from the ticket that you received in person, and online attendees will have assigned tickets. I would like to call the 88th annual meeting to order. During the business meeting, there will be a few requests for motions. To make a motion, indicate your motion and state your name for both the motion and the second. We will then verify that with the attendee registration list. Pursuant to our bylaws, proof of notice was published in the 12/31/2023 year-end statement. Notices were posted in each branch office and on March 13th, 2024, 35 days prior to the meeting. The notices included the date, time, and location of the annual meeting. SouthPoint's bylaws specify that we need a quorum to conduct our annual meeting. Troy, based on the number of attendees, can you assert that a quorum is present?
Mr. Chair.
Thank you. We'll move on to the approval of the minutes. The minutes from the 87th annual meeting held on April 18, 2023 are included in your packet and available on the registration website. The bylaws require that those minutes be read unless there is an approval to waive the reading of those minutes. I would entertain a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes and accept the previous annual meeting minutes as presented. Do I have a motion? Motion made by the gentleman in the blue shirt. Can you state your name? And do I have a second? Randy Jones, second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Now we'll move on to the report of the directors. This past year was a busy year for SouthPoint. The board and management team worked together to guide the credit union through challenging times. The overall economy and corresponding interest rate environment were two of the biggest challenges. As a team, we worked together to lead SouthPoint in a direction that is best for the membership. As a board, it is our duty to keep SouthPoint a strong financial institution, both at the present time and into the future. Financial strength is top priority at SouthPoint. As Jay will show you, we are financially strong. We are positioned well during this current economic cycle. We have partnered with reputable outside consultants that work together with the management team to implement strategies that will keep SouthPoint financially secure now and into the future. All of this is a result of the members' commitment to this credit union. Service to our members is also a priority of the credit union. The recent software upgrades was just a start. Now we are working on updating software that is tied to the new core system to improve the member experience. Data security, as always, is a top priority while making all of these improvements. Growth is also an important measure for a credit union. This includes membership, loans, and deposits. All these things need to occur in a balanced and controlled manner for a financial institution to succeed. Growth also includes management and staff, both in number and professional development. We need to develop future leaders for our credit union. In closing, I would like to thank the management and staff for all their hard work and commitment to SouthPoint. Their talent and hard work are what makes SouthPoint a success. I would also like to thank my fellow board members for their service and commitment to SouthPoint and its members. Also like to thank the Supervisory Committee and the Community Advisory Committee for all their work. Most of all, I'd like to thank the members of SouthPoint for their continued support. Now we'll move on to the Supervisory Committee report. The Supervisory Committee report is included in the annual report that is included in your program and posted on our website. On behalf of the board, we'd like to thank the Supervisory Committee for the work they do as an independent voice for the membership. Now, I would like to welcome Jay Kostanzik to present the CEO's report.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 88th annual meeting of the membership of the SouthPoint Financial Credit Union. It's an honor to be before you today. Your trust, your active participation have been the cornerstone of our success, and it's given us many things over the years to celebrate. For that, I'm deeply grateful.
In today's annual meeting, I'd like to revisit the highlights of our performance over the past year and discuss what lies ahead in 2024 and beyond. So first, let's take a moment to recap 2023 with a short video. Well, that's probably the first time I've ever been in a lion outfit, but as you can tell, we like to have a little fun here too. But um, every time I watch that video, what I'm amazed by is just all the smiling faces and the impact that we can have on people in our communities. And so um, hopefully you enjoyed that as much as probably the staff did, seeing all the things that we were involved in and accomplished last year. We were certainly very active in the community last year. And with the loyalty of our members, the dedication of our team, and the leadership of our board, I'm just extremely proud of the work that your credit union did in the past year to remain safe, sound, and secure. As we reflect on the last year, it's undeniable it wasn't without challenges. As Matt mentioned, everyone kind of had that feeling of economic uncertainty. You had higher energy prices, higher food prices, volatile markets, high inflation. Even the past few years, in a lot of ways, remind us of the economic challenges that occurred back in the 70s and 80s. Today's weak growth, elevated inflation have really mimicked the economic stagflation that was experienced all those years ago. But despite all those challenges, consumers remained very resilient. So in 2023, it was a strong year for SouthPoint. We constantly kept an eye on the horizon, adapted to the changes in the financial landscape, and we're staying committed to growth for sustainability and relevance to ensure that our members have the tools that they need to weather any of these economic storms. So I will review the financial performance in a minute, but I'd like to briefly highlight just a few of the key initiatives that are on the screen. And if you can't see it in the back, I'll share a few here. But our vision integration. So in the last year, we really embraced our new vision of empowering people to enhance lives. It's supported by our core values. Our purpose is our passion. We champion fearless grit, and it's not about me, it's about we. Membership growth. That is a constant for us. It's another milestone for us in the past year. We hit 30,000 members. Today, we're at about 31,500 members. So last year we hit that milestone, but we're still on our path to achieve 40,000 members by the year 2025. It's a big goal. You heard today from Christian regarding the acquisition and the development of the SouthPoint Insurance Agency. I like to share with our staff, we make insurance customers every single day. And so now we can actually offer insurance from the SouthPoint family to our members. We're also collaborating with 2 other credit unions to provide technology services to other credit unions. So it's the philosophy of credit unions. It's the people helping people, that collaboration where we're joining forces together with other credit unions to be able to help each other. And financial education, you saw in the video, our SouthPoint Budget City program. Last year, we educated over 500 students on financial literacy, and we have more sessions planned this year as well. Great relationships with our schools and our communities. And finally, in addition to all the other things that are listed on the screen, SouthPoint saved members over $5 million in financial benefits by offering lower rates on loans, higher savings rates, and charging fewer fees than compared to other financial institutions. The more members use SouthPoint, the more they can save. In addition, our savers last year finally got rewarded, and they've received $7.4 million in dividends. That's up from the year before of only $2.2 million in dividends. So finally, the savers are being rewarded. So financial strength, Matt mentioned financial strength. To help illustrate the overall health of the credit union, I'd like to highlight our financial performance in 3 main areas: growth, asset quality, and earnings. So there's many forms of growth in a credit union. Matt mentioned the staff. There's financial measures like membership growth, loan growth, deposit growth. And there's also, others are structural, like technology that we bring to members, staff development and learning, addition of products and services, service delivery channels as well. So today I'd like to touch on the progress of those financial measures in 2023. So I know this slide is a little busy and some of them might be, but let me share with you, a growth focus is really necessary to ensure we remain sustainable and competitive. Growth in membership allows us to continue to add products and services that exceed your expectations and empower our membership to build bright futures. In 2023, we surpassed that 31,000 membership mark and had over 7% membership growth. This result is 2.5 times greater than other credit unions our size. Most other credit unions on average grew only 3% membership growth. The large dip in 2022, you can't go without seeing that on the slide. Again, that was attributed to our transition to a new core system. So that allowed us to go through and clean up our system and get rid of dormant accounts or duplicate accounts. In the coming years, we will continue to be focused on that, trying to achieve that 40,000 members by the end of 2025. This slide will represent a high-level overview of the growth over the last 5 years. In 2023, we continued our trend of balanced growth in loans, deposits, and assets. Assets slightly decreased last year as interest rates rose as expected, but deposits grew by $4 million and loan volume grew an exceptionally strong $21 million in loan growth. With the strong growth in loans, let's look at asset quality on the balance sheet. So the most significant thing to look at asset quality is probably your delinquency and your charge-offs. Lending represents one of that major strengths of the credit union. The loan to asset ratio indicates missing a slide. We'll talk about delinquency. So delinquency remained exceptionally low. It declined slightly from 21.21% to 0.20%. This is much lower than our peers who have seen a significant rise over the past year. This is a reflection of the strength of our member borrowers, their loyalty, and well-managed credit risk. Charge-offs as well. That's the actual ratio of actual losses in relation to the balances of loans that we have. And SouthPoint's loan losses rose slightly, but they're extremely, as you can tell by the chart, lower than our peers. Again, this reflects the loyalty of our membership and well-managed credit risk. So credit unions, unlike banks, cannot simply sell stock to raise capital. We must earn it over time with growth and equity. Let's look at our ability to manage that balance sheet and manage the growth in our equity. Net interest margin is the difference between what we charge on loans and the dividends that we pay on deposits in relation to our total assets. Our percentage of 2.4% is much lower than our credit union peers. That demonstrates to you that we continue to give back more to our members in the form of lower loan rates and higher deposit rates and lower fees. This past year, we've seen an increase in deposit rates, and that's been rewarding our savers, as I mentioned previously. Non-interest income, another significant revenue source for us. It's comprised of items that are not interest related. So fees, origination income, and other sources of income. Last year, this number did decline slightly, but that was mainly due to the continued declines in the mortgage market with interest rates rising and fewer members buying homes with a lack of inventory. We're still very much in line with our peers, however, and we hope the housing market will get better for those young borrowers that are looking to buy their first home. Operating expenses, it's a ratio that measures how well the credit union is managing its expenses. Last year, as interest rates rose and inflation rose, so did the operating expenses for the credit union, still well within line in comparison to our peers. The return on assets ratio, that demonstrates the credit union's profitability and how efficiently the credit union manages its assets. Essentially, how we utilize assets to generate income. Again, the quick rise in interest rates over the past few years and the corresponding rise in deposit rates to members has resulted in lower earnings. We continue to be well below our peer group due to the reductions in mortgage volume, and we're moving to a new peer group. Last year, we moved to a new peer group hitting that $500 million asset range, and so it becomes tougher to us to be able to compete. Lastly, the credit union remains extremely well capitalized. We're better than 90% of credit unions at 11.47% capital. We have over $56 million in equity, and that enables us to better weather economic challenges than other credit unions. It enables us to better grow and expand products and services to you and delivery channels, along with helping members during times of economic uncertainty. So let's turn the page to 2024. Our priorities in 2024 include, well, they cover a range from growth, financial strength, service to members, and risk. While we're optimistic that 2024 is going to bring some improved economic climate, we continue to be very measured and methodical with whatever the future holds. SouthPoint has a long history, over 88 years of doing well by doing good. We continue to rest on that fact and hang our hat on that fact. We understand that investing in our communities and building lasting relationships creates a strong foundation for sustainability and steady progress. The strength of your cooperative has allowed us to serve members and our communities in both good times and bad. This strength has enabled us to continually invest in building our business for the future. So that future includes investments in expanding and improving product and service delivery. We're ecstatic to announce, and maybe you've seen this in the newsletter, but to announce that later this year, we'll be opening our 8th branch location in Buffalo, Minnesota. This branch expansion is part of an effort, a long-term strategic planning effort to grow into our 23 county field of membership and to ensure that SouthPoint remains relevant and sustainable for the next 88 years. Branch expansion and membership growth is critical to continue to be competitive and provide with existing members with exceptional value. In the future, please check as that building starts getting underway, please check our website and our newsletters for more information on the progress. Investments into the future also include remaining on the leading edge of technology. We had some struggles with technology today, but we do a great job of being able to be on the leading edge of bringing some of those technologies to our members. And it helps us to make sure that our members can be served when, where, and how they want to be served. While our branch network is a critical piece, most of our transactions today are actually done digitally. That shift has challenged us to further envision what does that future look like. You know, one such area that you've maybe heard about is generative AI or artificial intelligence. We're confident that AI and machine learning is actually going to be something that will change how products and services are developed, how they're delivered to our members, how our day-to-day operations in the credit union can be tweaked in order to be more efficient. And while we don't quite know, we actually talked about it this morning in a planning session. We don't quite know what the future is going to hold with artificial intelligence, but we do know that artificial intelligence is something that is almost as significant as the invention of the internet or the invention of computers. So we are going to continue to be focused on how to be able to use technology to be able to make things more efficient, add more value to members, better products and services, and remain competitive and sustainable. So since 1936, 88 years we've been around. We've been doing right by our members, and that's been our compass. It'll continue. We know that our success is the result of keeping our members at the heart of everything that we do, every decision that we make. And we sincerely appreciate the trust you place in us by choosing to be your partner on your financial journey. What I shared today is just an overview of the exceptional progress that I get the benefit of seeing on a day-to-day basis, and hopefully you get to see the benefit by being a member and being served in our branch locations. Our amazing staff and our volunteers are committed to continuing to be focused on strategic growth and a mindset for the future to ensure SouthPoint remains a local trusted source that is relevant, sustainable, and always brings that value back to you. I'd like to express my appreciation and gratitude to our phenomenal staff, our volunteer board of directors and committee members for their guidance and direction as we look towards the future, and their unwavering commitment and dedication to SouthPoint's purpose, SouthPoint's membership, and building a stronger and more prosperous financial institution for all members. Finally, I'd like to thank you, our members, for your membership, your continued support, your patronage, and allowing us to be able to continue to serve you. As your financial partner, we're dedicated to truly empowering people to enhance lives. Mr. Chair, that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jay. Okay, moving on to unfinished business. At this time, there is no unfinished business. We'll move on to new business and declaration of the Board of Directors nominees. I'd like to turn to Bob Weiss, Board of Director, to provide the report from the nominating committee and declaration of Board of Director nominees.
Good afternoon. In accordance with the credit union's bylaws, the nominating committee has nominated the following candidates for the terms that expire at the annual meeting. Matt Lux for a 3-year term, Adam Seifert for a 3-year term, and Charles Gravel for a 3-year term. Pursuant to credit union bylaws, these candidates, along with their biographies, were published to the membership via the December 31st, 2023 member account statements. The statement inserts also included information on how members can be nominated by petition. The deadline for the nomination by petition was February 2nd, 2024 at 5 p.m. As no members petitioned to be added to the ballot, the number of nominees equals the number of positions to be filled. The bylaws authorize the direct declaration of each nominee elected by general consent.
Thank you, Bob. All the business reports and activities of the 88th annual meeting have been completed. I would like to entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion made, back row. Catch the name. Okay, got that. Do I have a second? Richard Nesvold, a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.